Welcome, Jimmy Lee. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, it's great to be here. Thank you very much for the invitation, Maddie. Wow. Maybe I had my volume too loud. It was echoing in my own ears. So excited to be here with you guys. Lunch and Learn. I hope you've brought your favorite meal, favorite lunch for today, the little brown bag meeting that we're going to have. We're going to be talking about some absolutely fabulous information here. It's going to come at you fast and furious. We're talking about a fire hose. This is a lot of really good information that will come quickly. If you have questions about this information, please reach out. I'd love to explain more or to talk about more. Everything that I go over with you today is stuff that you can do in your shop today, stuff you can do in your shop tomorrow. If there are things outside of your realm of comfort, then there's always people available and around that want to help out, that want to be that source of knowledge and information to assist you to take those next steps and what you can do. So with that, I'm here to help enlighten you. Those of you who know Kukui, the word Kukui means enlightenment. Kukui, my company, comes from Hawaii. We started in Hawaii many years ago. The Kukui are these Kukui beads that I'm wearing. In the old days, they would use these beads much like a lamp or a lantern or a candle. They would light their huts with the Kukui bead, the Kukui nut. And so that's what I'm here to provide to you today as well, is some enlightenment as to some of the things you can do as a shop owner to market your company. Some of these are no cost, some of them are low cost, and some of them have a cost to them. So you can pick and choose which ones it is you'd like to implement first into your shop. Kukui, as a company, we have brought together the best of both worlds. We've got the best of the automotive industry, as well as the best of the software industry. So you bring these two together and you've got the best of the best available to you as a tool for your shop. So Kukui has done this to be the best. And we also listen to our customers, our shop owners, our partners in this business. Are we going in the right direction? Is Kukui developing the right information, the right knowledge, the right software to help you as a shop owner to build your business and take those next steps that you need to take in building your business? These methods we're going to talk about, you can implement them. If you have questions, please ask. The first one I want to talk about is prioritizing your search engine optimization. Of course, this is your website. So a lot of people feel like building a website, having the flashiest website possible will bring in all the customers. And that's not necessarily true, because if your website is never seen, then how good is it? Is it better to have a well-performing website that is beautiful? The answer is yes. So occasionally Google gives us some insight into what goes into your Google ranking. And about 23.8% goes into your social cues. Google is using social cues from social media. How are your reviews? We'll go into depth on what this is. Almost 10% of your Google rating does come from reviews, and specifically your Google reviews. So we'll talk about what that looks like. As well, unique content, unique to your website. This is extremely important for Google to see. And not only that you have unique content once, as in today, but that going forward, you continue to have unique content on your website. The more unique content you have on your site, the more often the Google bots will come back and search your website. It also needs to be mobile friendly. It needs to load quickly. And we'll talk about each one of these and what they are talking about as your page speed. As well, your name, address, and phone number needs to be consistent across all business directories. There's about 258 different business directories on the market right now that go into your Google ranking, that all of these databases share the information. If your information is not consistent across all these databases, well, then Google looks at that and says, oh my gosh, these guys don't know who they are. They're two different businesses, because maybe it's Joe's Garage versus Joe's Auto, or Joe's Auto Repair versus Joe's Automotive Repair. There's a difference. And Google sees that difference and views it as ones and zeros. If the ones and zeros don't match up, then neither does the listing. So they think you don't know who you are and what you're doing. Additionally, in prioritizing your search engine optimization, look for a company a website developer that is going to help you with your Google ad. Google ads are extremely important. If it's done wrong, you can waste a lot of money very quickly. If it's done right, then you should see a 6-to-1 return, even a 10-to-1 return on your Google ad money, the marketing that you're doing there. So what does a website look like that converts? We've proven across thousands of different websites what works and what doesn't. And this is customizable. You can customize this information to put in your information, your customized pictures, colors, fonts, all this information you can customize. So you have it on your own website as well. If your website does not have these items, then you want to change your website so it does have these items. Specifically, in the top left-hand corner is your logo. That is put there for immediate recognition so that somebody says, oh, I know who this is. I've seen their logo before while I was driving down the street or on a postcard or a flyer or a brochure or at the Little League field. I have seen this logo before. So that is your instant local brand recognition. Next to that is your Google reviews. Or no, not even just Google reviews. These are all your reviews. Every 5-star review that you've ever had. So in this case, we're looking at, what is this? 1,347 reviews, 1,347 5-star reviews. That gives instant credibility to your brand. 1,300 people said they had a 5-star experience. Chances are the next customer coming into your shop would also have a 5-star experience. So we want to make sure that you have that right next to your logo. This is important. This also goes into the psychology of the placement. Why are we doing this left to right? North America, we predominantly English, we read left to right. In a different country, it might be different. It might be right to left. But here we are, left to right, logo top left, reviews next to the logo, and next to that are the phone numbers. Your phone numbers, they're in a larger font and they're a different color. The psychology of that is the call to action. Because it's bigger, it's different. It calls your eyes to it. Your eyes are drawn towards it as the phone number. So those who are going to call you, this is how they're going to do that. They're going to click right on that phone number and their cell phone will dial straight into your shop. The fourth thing to look at, and this is extremely important because there's an entire generation that does not want to talk to you on the phone, but they would like to fill out an appointment online to come in and visit your shop. So if your website currently at this exact moment, if it does not have this schedule an appointment button, you need to get one on there and get it on there quickly so that your customers are able to request an appointment from you and you can set up that date and time with them. Fifth thing to look at is here in the bottom left-hand corner, and that is your value add. What is it that makes you different? It doesn't always have to be a discount. You don't always have to give discounts off of labor or discounts off of pricing. However, that is good information to have there. We're all buying parts from different parts stores. Those parts stores have specials every month. That is custom content that you're going to put in every month onto your website is these value add offers. What is it that makes you different than the competition? It could be that. It could be your free Uber lifts or the free Lyft rides. It could be a coupon, a discount, whatever that is. Every month, come in here and put in new custom content. This raises your Google ranking. Now, we want to turbocharge this. Bottom right-hand corner, you see here the reviews. These are your top 5 to 10 5-star reviews. And it has the date on here. And that date is a current date. What that date provides is instant credibility from yesterday, the day before, last week. These aren't reviews from 3 years ago and 6 years ago. There's been a huge changing of the guard in 3 years or 6 years. So we need constant information being fluxed into our website. So now imagine that you have a new review coming in every other day. How often is the Google bots coming back now? Now they're coming back every other day. If you haven't done anything with your website for 2 or 3 or 5 years, how often is Google coming back to search you? Not very often. But if you've got constant reviews being put into your website, that's new content that Google wants to come and find out what it is that you're doing as an engaged owner to engage your audience. So that's super powerful. Google is the godfather of the internet. If you're going to play the game, you got to kiss the ring. So here's important things for you to consider. 70 to 74% of all internet searches are done on Google. And it depends on which report you read. So let's just use 70. It's the lower number. 70% of all all internet searches are done through Google. 90% of those are done on a mobile device. So what does that mean to you as a shop owner? That means that your website needs to load quickly on a mobile-friendly device. Because if you take longer than 5.1 seconds, you're potentially losing 74% of your potential customer base. 5.1 seconds. So what's the sweet spot? Where do I want to be? You want to be right around 3 seconds for that website to load quickly. And you want all that information to come in quickly. You know what? I forgot about another bonus thing that I want to point out to you. Here in the top, you notice the social media links are right here in the header. Don't put them in the header. You want those in the footer. What happens is customers come in, they're looking at your website. They want to see who you are. They want to build that relationship. They click the social links to go to your social media to see who you are. And once they go to social media, they may look at you for a little bit, but then their attention is immediately drawn to that notifications. Oh, I have new friends. I have a new friend request. I have a new notification. And then an hour and a half later, you've lost that potential customer because they were sucked into that time machine called Facebook or Instagram. And so you want this in the footer. Have those links in the footer. That way they've at least scrolled through your entire website before they go into your social media. So 5.1 seconds. The other important thing to realize here is if you don't load fast enough and it's longer than 5.1 seconds, 46% of those potentials that came to you, they'll never come back again. And I'm pulling this information from Google. This is information that Google has shared with us about websites, about load times, about load speeds, and about mobile-friendly websites. So you've got to pay attention to this information. You've got to make sure that your website is loading quickly. If it's not, there's things you can do with fonts. There's things you can do with pictures and resolutions to make sure that it's not too big, that it's not too large. Also with videos, that's important to note as well. You want to make sure you've got the right information at the right size. All right, a second method of marketing is with Google Ad. And we talked about this just a second ago about Google Ad and making sure you're partnered with a good partner that is Google Premier Partner, because your Google Ads come up at the start of an internet search. So when somebody types in Dodge Repair Santa Barbara, or Dodge Repair Raleigh, North Carolina, or Dodge Repair wherever it may be, these Google Ads, they appear above even the 3-pack. Some call it the 3-pack, some call it the snack pack. This is this information down here. So yes, it is up here. It is at the top. And Google tells us that 80% of customers will click on that first link before they go down into any of the organic information. So when do you pay for a Google ad? You pay when they click the link. Your call to action needs to be good. Otherwise, you're flushing money. It could be $1, it could be $1.25, it could be upwards of $15, $10, $12, $15 that you're spending to get the right customer in. If you're not partnered with the right people, you're going to be burning some money pretty quickly. The way to gauge this is a 6-to-1 return or even a 10-to-1 return. So what does that mean? If I'm spending $100 every month in my Google ad, then I should be earning $1,000 in business. If I'm spending $200, I should be getting $2,000. That's a 10-to-1 return. Does that make sense? Everybody follow that? That's a good line to judge just this one marketing method. And we'll talk about what this looks like right now. So for example, the things that you want to track is how much does it cost? How many impressions did I get? And your website providers can provide you this information. How many websites did I get? Impressions. How many times did somebody actually click through to my website? So that's what you want to know. And what's interesting, a lot of website providers will come to you and say, oh, Joe, your website's killing it today. 10,000 impressions this month, 10,000 impressions of your website. That's awesome. That you're doing really, really well. Well, as a shop owner, they come to you with this really big number and it doesn't calculate, it doesn't compute. What does that really mean? What's an impression? Well, an impression is when I type in automotive repair, Raleigh, North Carolina, there's 10 websites that appear. That's an impression. An impression is a fluffy number, but it does have some value. It does tell you that your keywords are working right. What you want to know is how many people actually click through to the website. Google tells us if your website has a higher click-through rate than 0.8 of 1%, then you're doing really well. So track what your impression rate is versus your click-through rate and make sure that you know that you're doing well or not. Leads is the number of phone calls that are coming into your shop. This is the amount of times people picked up the phone and called into the shop. Track the number of new customers that come in from this method, as well as the returning customers. So a lot of times shop owners ask me, why am I tracking my returning customers through Google Ads? Because this morning, Mr. Jones woke up, today's the day, he types in oil change or oil flush or oil change, Raleigh, North Carolina. He's looking for information about changing the oil in his car. Luckily, your website came up, and when he clicked on it, because he recognized your shop, he recognized your website, he recognized your information, he was drawn into your shop. So yes, you want to track your new customers and your returning customers, and also track the revenue that's coming in from each one of these sources. The immediate revenue, $9,000. So here we spent 462, and the revenue was 9,000. That's a pretty good return rate. That's a 20-to-1 return. In the long term, because you want to track not only the customers that come in today from Google Ads, how many keep coming back from your Google Ads, and that's 11,000. That's a 45-to-1 return. So that's pretty good. So track this information. You want to know what's working and what's not. Review your keywords to make sure that you're optimized for the right services, that you're optimized for the right vehicles. You want to make sure you optimize for the right vehicles. Heaven forbid you're a European shop and you're marketing to all the general repair. All right, so that's point number 2. Point number 3 is to use a consistent design across all your marketing. Your website, your emails, your business cards, your banner ads, they should all have the same look, feel, and flow. A really good example of this is Honest One Auto Care. They have a really consistent color scheme across everything that they do. And they stole their information, a little bit R&D, rip off and duplicate. They stole their color scheme from Holiday Inn Express. And why did they steal that? Well, because at a Holiday Inn Express, when you come to the hotel, you have relaxing colors. You want relaxing tones. So that's where the blue and the green comes in. Honest One has done a great job of duplicating that and then marketing it in all of their information as well. So your website, your business cards, your emails, do they show a consistent branding of you and of who you are? If not, then change it. Make sure that it's easy for customers to understand who you are and what your brand is. An easy one to look at that is Starbucks. Starbucks has a very good, consistent, easy brand. You know when you see a Starbucks that that's a Starbucks. And recent on the scene here is Napa and their auto care centers. They are getting very aggressive on getting more branding out for the auto care program. They now have more pro-imaged Napa auto care centers than Firestone, which is the largest big box brand that's out there. So your branding, your consistency, your colors, your color scheme, it needs to be easily recognized so that customers, as they drive down the street, they know who you are and they can see who you are. Make it easy for them to know who you are. Okay, into point number 4, embracing technology. Now, what are we talking about? Like a smartphone? Well, yeah, you definitely need to embrace a smartphone. There's other technologies for your shop. How about a digital vehicle inspection program? Every shop should have one. The question should not be, are you doing it? The question should be, which one are you using? Which one are you utilizing? These digital inspections, they can also be used as a marketing tool to show your next raving fans, this is what the inspection is going to be that we do on your vehicle when you bring it in for an oil change. We're going to check to make sure that you stay safe on the road. If you're not going to be safe, we're going to tell you about it. We're going to tell you about it so that you can do it yourself. Maybe you have another shop that you trust and love and you want to take it to them. Or while the vehicle's here, we can take care of your vehicle as well. Another thing to look at is mapping. mapping out where your customers are so that you can see those neighborhoods that are hot, the neighborhoods that are spending a lot of money. Chances are you've got somebody in that neighborhood, probably name of Jimmy Lee, who is sending a lot of business to your shop. You want to find that, recognize it, and then reward it. But then also expand your marketing in that neighborhood, because that's a hot neighborhood for you. That's a good place for you to embrace technology to discover where your money is best spent in what neighborhood. And you can really blanket that neighborhood with your different marketing efforts. As well, embrace technology. Emails. Emails are important. We are sending emails to customers. Why spend time on talking about an email? Because most emails, when they're sent out, are not optimized for a smartphone. 64% of people that are reading emails are reading them from their smartphone. We know this because Google shares the information with us. 64% are reading their email from a smartphone. Here's the downside is only 11% of those emails are optimized for the mobile device. So how do you know if your email is optimized or not? If you've got to scrunch in and scrunch out or slide around, your email is not optimized for the smartphone. So make sure it is. You're using different platforms. Make sure that you insert yourself as a customer so that you see what it is that's being sent out from your smartphone, from your device, because you want to see that that is there. Always have images. Limit your images, though. Don't have too many. Also, in every email, put a hot link for them to be able to call you on the phone. Put a hot link for them to schedule an appointment. And the third tip for you here, put a hot link for them to leave you a review. And I would link this right to your Google reviews, because that's where the gold is. Or you could link it to your Facebook or to your website. Google is definitely where the most weight is good for your reviews and the reviews coming to your shop. So embrace technology, embrace a platform for emails and emailing that doesn't make the consumer search your information or use their two fingers to search through the information on your email. That you don't want to do that. Okay, the fifth one. I'm coming at you fast and furious. I'm telling you, there's a lot of really good information here. The fifth one to look at is social media. You've got to commit to it. When should I post? How often should I post? I would say that the very best method is the 5-finger method. And you can see here, I'm holding up 5 fingers. 4 of your posts on a weekly basis needs to be social information, relationship information, posts about dogs and cats and things happening in the community and stuff happening at the shop and a new technician. And this is just fun relationship building information. Commit to this. 4 social relationship building posts. And then 1 post a week is going to be, I have something for sale. What are we doing here? We're providing value and information and relationship building, and then we ask for a sale. This is that 80-20 rule. You want to use this 80-20 rule, because if every time you walk out and talk to somebody, you tell them, I have something for sale, I have something for sale, buy something from me, this is for sale, they're going to turn you off. They're going to unsubscribe from you. So you don't want to do that. Commit to social media, because it is a very powerful platform. It promotes your business, it promotes your shop, it promotes your people, and it connects with consumers where they are today. They're at home, they're on the couch, they're on their social media. They're on social media more than they've ever been. So even as important as it is to post for Facebook and Instagram, I'll let you in on a little information to say that TikTok is the next big social media platform. TikTok are those 10 to 15 second commercials that you have a very small amount of time to market your shop, but also to build a relationship, to build information, to engage consumers on the platform that they are engaging on. So look at TikTok as a next platform. But my warning to you, TikTok is a time machine. It will suck you out, and an hour and a half later, it'll spit you out, and you will wonder what in the world just happened. That happened to me. I downloaded it an hour and a half later. I was like, oh my gosh, this is an amazing tool. I was laughing. I was crying. It was crazy. It was amazing. This is where you want to engage with your customers. So embrace technology, embrace social media, and post the days that you are in the office, that you are working. So you're telling now the algorithms, I work on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you work Saturdays, post on Saturday as well. You're telling the algorithms the days and hours of operation that you are in business, because you're engaging on that social media platform in those times. Post it as your business. And then also complete your digital footprint. Pay attention to your Google reviews. Respond to all your reviews. Respond to even your Yelp reviews, and respond to your Facebook reviews. This is important because that next raving fan coming in wants to know that you are engaged, that you are an owner operator that is in on the daily work of your business. Best to respond within 24 hours. Better, or not better, best, good beyond that is to respond within a day or that week. And certainly within the month, you need to be responding to every single one of your reviews. I think a best practice is sit down on Friday and respond to all your reviews from the week. Because you what are you going to have? Maybe 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, maybe. It's not going to take that long. And we'll talk about reviews here in a second, as in right now, because reviews are so powerful. This is such a powerful tool. Google reviews are worth anywhere from 14 to 21 times what a Facebook review is worth, or a Yelp review, or a CSI review, or a website review. So there is a ton of gold in your Google reviews. Pay attention to them. Respond to all of them. I'm going to give you a bonus tip right here. You ready? In your reviews, with the customers who are comfortable with this method, respond to say, hey, Jimmy, thanks for bringing in your Ford F-150. So I'm putting in the year, make, and model. Your Ford F-150 for brakes, shocks, and struts. I'm now telling Google the services that I provide on Ford F-150s. We're here for you when you need us. I'm dropping in some keywords here on Google's review system. So I'm telling Google, this customer came in, they gave us a 5-star review. This is their vehicle. These are the services that they performed on the vehicle. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that awesome? I'm providing such a great, valuable information for Google and for my next raving fan that's going to come to me. Respond to all your reviews, positive or negative. You have to respond to all of them. It's extremely important. And the customers that are comfortable, leave the vehicles and the services that you performed on that vehicle. That was very powerful. I want you to know that is some important information. What are the important platforms to pay attention to? We know them. They're Google My Business, it's Facebook, it's Yelp, and it's your website. You want to pay attention to these. These is where you're going to leave the responses to the reviews that are coming through. And this is almost 10% of your Google ranking. So not only is it on your Google reviews, but Google also is crawling through Facebook and through Yelp to gather those reviews, because these are your social cues. This is what goes into you being a successful shop, and what goes into Google recommending your shop to that next potential customer. Their currency is your reviews. Their currency is the trust that they can have in you as a shop to provide the next raving fan with valuable information. So yeah, pay attention to reviews. This is not dead. Now, postcards, a lot of times, a lot of people think, oh, postcards, they're dead. They've gone away. They haven't. In fact, they have never had a dip or decrease in their business. Postcards is a $5 billion industry. That's a billion-dollar industry, $5 billion industry. They're not dead. Postcards are extremely valuable. It really speaks to the customer. It speaks to where their car belongs. And you see in this picture, this is my Ford F-150. If you have a program that will integrate your digital inspections with your CRM program, and you can use those pictures in your postcards, this really personalizes it right down to the customer, right down to the consumer. There's not a lot that I've seen out there that does this. In fact, this is probably pie in the sky. This is future. So what if we can customize it, maybe not to the vehicle on the postcard, but certainly you could do the vehicle on an email. That's quick and easy. How about recommending these services, the top 3 services that need to be performed on the vehicle: an oil change, brake service, tire rotation. Personalize it to the services that are needed by that customer. Personalize it to me. When a postcard comes in, it has my name on it and my vehicle. Absolutely, you've got my attention. I'm showing you here a postcard from Bill McNally racing up in it's up by Sacramento, California. He has a phenomenal shop. He does a really good job in marketing his shop as well. He is a race car driver. So that's kind of cool. Postcards are not dead. They're not dead. And there's 2 types of postcards to pay attention to. One is the retention postcard. This is what I'm showing you here right now. Retention postcards. They're not dead. They go to the customers. They see them. They keep them. They put them on the refrigerator. They put them in the glove box or the jockey box. They stay with the vehicle until it's needed. And those postcards are getting out to 100% of the people that you are sending them to. It might only be 5 seconds between them looking at it and it hitting the bin, but you are getting to them. You are getting to those customers. The next one to look at is your acquisition postcards. Acquisition, where you blanket a neighborhood and tell them how amazing your shop is. Give them a customer testimonial on that postcard. It's not dead. It does work. It does gather attention very quickly, very easily, and it's going to work for your shop as well. Okay, these last 3 things we're going to talk about are amazing tools, and I want to give this sufficient time. I'm talking about text marketing. This has a 90% reach rate to your customers, potential customers, or returning customers. 90% of all text messages are read within 3 minutes. This is much similar to an email blast or a text blast. Text marketing is soliciting those customers to come back to you. Now, to do this, you do want to be careful. You want to be careful because you are going to reach those customers. Do not blast your entire database. Absolutely wrong. You will flood the ship. You may even sink the ship. Take it in small bites. And when you are doing text marketing, marketing is soliciting them to come back into your shop without them being there. It's not a service reminder. It's not a repair reminder. This is pure marketing to get them to come back. To do that, you want to have them to opt in for your marketing, for them to opt into your marketing, your solicitation. Because if you don't have their permission to send them a text message, you could end up on the losing end of a lawsuit. Look at Jiffy Lube. They lost a multi-million-dollar lawsuit because they were sending marketing messages on a daily basis to their customer base, and they lost a crap ton of money. You don't want to do that. Be on the safe side of things. Make sure that you're sending those messages that are specific to those customer and specific to what it is that they need. So, and there's different methods of communicating. Two-way communication, text marketing, while the car's in the shop and you're communicating via text message, totally acceptable, totally normal. They gave you their cell phone. It's get their permission that you're going to text back and forth because that is a great method of communication, as well as email. But then again, people prefer a text message over an email. They're going to see it. They're going to read it. Text marketing, make sure you have the opt-in. There's multi methods of getting that opt-in. We'll talk about a couple of those. Use a mobile app for your texting, a desktop app, one where the service advisor is not using their personal cell phone. You as an owner, you're not using your cell phone because those numbers can get flagged. You want to use a desktop platform to text market your shop to your customers. And it's a great way of staying in touch. It's also a great method. I like this last one here. Text reviews request. This is a great way of asking for that feedback and that 5-star review for your shop. You send a link directly to your Google My Business, and now they're leaving you a review, a 5-star review. It's a great method of doing it. So you got text marketing, the one-on-one reviews, text for reminders. This is a beautiful way of connecting with customers to make sure that they understand, hey, Mr. Jones, you got an appointment with us tomorrow for your oil change. Mr. Smith, you got an appointment tomorrow for the timing belt. It's a great reminder so that they remember that they've got an appointment with you. Text reminders, a fabulous way. And texting a reminder is not text marketing. Text marketing is when you're soliciting them to come back. I've got a special this month on batteries, or buy 3 shocks, get 1 free. That's text marketing. That's where you need their opt-ins. The last one to look at as well, and this is amazing, is the live web chat, where somebody comes onto your website, they want to talk to somebody, they want that chat. You've got this information, you've got this ability to chat right with them from your desktop platform or from your cell phone if you're away from the shop. And it's amazing how many customers and potential customers are coming to your website after hours. And on the weekends, this live chat allows them to connect with your shop even when you're not there for business. They can request an appointment. A fabulous way of doing it and connecting with customers on the platform that they're wanting to connect with. All right, so connecting, text marketing, absolutely amazing program, amazing way of connecting with your customers in that immediate needs scenarios. Next, let's talk about shop videos. These are shop videos that are done professionally. They are hosted on your website. This is important. There are 3 specific videos that you need to have. One is what makes your shop amazing, unique, and awesome and different from all the competition. The second one is a technician testimonial. And the third one is a raving fan video. This is where that raving fan is able to tell the next client coming in, this was my experience. Chances are you're going to have the same experience when you come to the shop as well. The reason you want these professionally done is you have good lighting, you have good audio, you have a good editing so that it's easier to consume. It makes a world of difference when you're hosting this on your website. There are videos that you will do with social media, and that goes on your social media. That's where you're doing the Facebook Lives. We'll talk about that in here in a second, because these videos on your website, they attract customers. They stay on your website longer. Because they're staying longer, it increases your search engine optimization. And Google sees that customers are staying there longer, they're engaging more. It's a beautiful way of attracting your new customer as well as potential technicians. When they're out searching around, it could attract your next Class A technician. Placement, there's always good, better, and best places to put your videos. In your About Us page is really good. If you're going to put one on the home page, have it be that raving fan video and have it right next to your reviews on the home page. It's important also to make sure that it's placed properly, that it's optimized, that it doesn't slow down the load time of your website. To do that, you may need to host it on a different platform. YouTube is one that can be hosted on a different platform and have that linked to your website. As well, there are other options as well. Wistia is one of them that's available, where it's hosted somewhere else, but able to play from your main website. And this makes it quick and easy for customers to consume your information, especially when it's done professionally. It speaks a lot to the quality of your shop, the quality of your business, the quality of what you're doing. So the 3 main videos are your what makes your shop special, customer testimonial, which I call a raving fan video, technician testimonial, and they talk about the superior work environment of your shop. These are your top 3 videos that you want to have. Beyond that, this is amazing. Also, videos to have are service videos. This is where you can have a technician talking about a timing belt and why it's important, why a timing belt does wear out, how to look for wear and tear on a timing belt, and why it is that they want to come to a qualified shop to have their timing belt repaired. These service videos, you can talk about everything that's on your inspection sheet. You can even tie that now into your inspection sheet. So when you're recommending a timing belt, you link that video that Joe, your technician, made about timing belts. Or Joe was the star of the show. He didn't make it. You had a professional crew come in to record it, or you recorded it from your own cell phone to talk about a timing belt and why it's important. The 5th videos, and we talked about this as well, the 5th video goes into social media. These are your live videos. If you want to see a really good example of that, look up Gary Sapp in Pensacola, Florida. Gary Sapp on Facebook. Last March, he and I connected. He says, Jimmy, I'm really suffering. I'm just down. Times are tough. I'm sending texts home early. He says, in 25 years, I've never sent a text home early. but we are just so slow. We're just so slow. And I said, all right, well, Gary, every morning, get on for 2 minutes, 1 minute to 2 minutes, and talk about something that's happening in the shop today. He did this. He started doing this. And you know what happened? People are engaging. They're building a relationship. They're bringing their cars down. Even though the world is shut down, he's an essential service and everybody's coming to his shop. He gets busy. What happens when we get busy as shop owners? We stop doing those fundamentals. We stop doing the basics. So he petered off. He didn't do it as much come April, May, June. And we connected again in August. Jimmy, oh my gosh, man, my business is down again. It's down again. What can I do? What can I do? I said, well, I haven't seen your Facebook Live videos in quite a while. What happened? Oh man, we got busy and I stopped doing them. You're right. I got to get right back on it. We hung up the phone. He went immediately and did a Facebook Live video. And every day since, he has done a Facebook Live video to talk about the shop. He talks about Diesel, the black cat that's adopted the shop. He lives in the shop. He talked about today is Ford vehicle day. Today is Chevy vehicle day. Today's the F-350 day. And it's amazing when you put that out into the universe responds. And now everybody with a Ford F-150 is into the shop saying they need service. It just really draws attention. So the social media, very valuable, helps to build that relationship even further with those potential raving fans for your shop. Last and final, this is a very important marketing tool. Don't forget to follow up. I always say there is a fortune in the follow-up. There's a fortune in the follow-up. So what kind of follow-up phone calls should you be making? Certainly, there's the first and the most immediate is to say thank you. Call them up, and that is it. That is purely the phone call. Hey, thanks, Jimmy, for bringing in your Ford F-150. We sure appreciate the trust you have in our shop. We're here for you when you need us next. How's the truck running? Oh, man, the truck's running great. We love it. 75% of the time, you're going to get voicemail anyways. So just leave a short 10-second, 15-second voicemail. That's all you need to do. These are your thank you follow-ups. Beyond that, service reminders. Beyond that, lost customers. You can pull these reports, these programs right out of your point of sale system, or there are other software systems available in the industry that will have these lists of people that you can call to engage with your customers, to engage and provide that personal touch of an actual phone call. We are still human. We still need human contact. We still want to have that connection with our shop, with our technician, with the people working on our car, because we know and we trust and we love them. So this personal outreach goes a very, very long way in providing that personal touch, because there's a lot of shops that aren't doing it. You could be the shop that does it. Here's an idea of phone calls to follow up with. Number one is all of your thank yous. Number two, missed phone calls. Are you able to track your phone calls coming into your shop, specifically the marketing phone calls coming into your shop, so that you can see, I spent money on this Google ad and here's a phone call. I missed a phone call. Let's call them back. They have a need. You are the solution. They need to know that they called the right place. Call them back. Missed phone calls, very important. Service reminders, declined services. We know what these are. What's a good timeline to call? I would call at 2 weeks, at 4 weeks, at 6 weeks, at 8 weeks. They need to know how important this repair is that needs to be done on their vehicle. And you can judge the importance and the frequency, and certainly don't pester your clients, don't pester your customers. 30, 60, 90 is also a good timeline to follow, because then customers are able to have 2 paychecks. Maybe they need to save up for it. Maybe they need to save for that large repair. And 30 days, at 60 days, they're able to do that. Number 5 is your lost customers. Find out. You could be marketing to customers that have moved. You could be marketing to customers who have passed away. You could be marketing to customers who have sold those vehicles. They're no longer a viable prospect for you. Find out who is the viable prospects for you so that you are marketing to the right people. Last and final is an oil change reminder. What a powerful tool to just send a quick phone call to a customer to remind them that they are due for service. Hey, Jimmy, I know it's been about 3 months since you were in here last. chances are you're coming up on an oil change. You need that oil change. We're here for you. We'd love to help you out. That phone call goes a long way. And if you've got their ability to text message them to text marketing, definitely you want to do that. Send that information, send that text message right to that customer, and they'll be able to see who you are and that you are wanting to follow up with them. Very powerful, very powerful. Questions, comments, concerns? I would love to see if you guys have any questions. I came at that faster than I thought I was. We've got time. Maddie, anything from the audience, or Trisha? Trisha, I see you on here.
Yeah, actually, just a thought is I like the idea of you mentioning a follow-up phone call for the oil change, because it's so easy to miss emails nowadays. And for one, I would never get those kinds of things done if somebody didn't really personally remind me.
It's so true, isn't it?
Yeah.
A follow-up phone call. And to go right along with these follow-up phone calls, Kukui's system is so robust. We now have the ability to set up an automatic text message. I call it the virtual oil sticker. It sends a text message to the customer based on either time or mileage. They get a text message reminding them that they're due for an oil change. How powerful is that?
Yeah, no, that's huge, because I know I've had moments where it's just occurred to me, like, oh my gosh, when is the last time I got my oil changed? I bet I'm about to blow up my car. And if Stan was in here, he would tell you one time I almost did. And he was like, this is not good for you to do that. And I said, I just completely get so busy. You don't even look at the sticker. So you really appreciate when your shop jumps in there and reminds you and says, like, hey, it's time to take care of this.
Yeah. So true. So true. So powerful. Hey, what I'd love to hear, maybe there's no questions, comments, or concerns. What is one of the takeaways? What's something that I have shared with you today that I either reminded you of the importance of, or I sparked an interest in? Any of you that can share with us, what's a takeaway that you have from today that we could share with the entire group?
I think responding to the reviews is a huge one. That's something that I don't do as well as I should.
Thank you, Scott. Yeah, that is very powerful. Very powerful. It shows you're engaged as an owner. It shows Google that you're engaged. It goes a very long way to provide that next customer the importance and the value that you show as a shop owner.
I have a question, if I may, please.
Yes, Dutch.
You said that and it was very intriguing, in that program where you had your Ford that was on the postcard, and you said this is something that's heading down the road. You said, now when you respond, hey, Jimmy, it was wonderful to bring in you to see your Ford F-150, and we took out the summer air out of the tires and put the winter air and the headlight fluid in. Haha. The thing that you said was, with their permission. How do you go about getting, a lot of people don't want to be addressed in the familiar. They want to use their surname, and a lot of folks don't want what they've done to their car to be online for everybody to see.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's a great point, Dutch. In Google reviews, generally, they list the first name and the last initial. So using their first name would continue that anonymity, if you will. If I used a surname, now you would know Jimmy Lee, where if you just say Jimmy, that's all that shows. Jimmy L left a review. So getting their permission is in that exit interview. When they're leaving, you'd say, hey, in a day or in 2 days or in 3 days, I'm going to send you a request for a review. This is word of mouth marketing. This is how I now build my business, is based on reviews. Would you be willing to leave us a review? And they'll say yes or no. And you say, okay, great. In leaving the review, I would also like to respond. Are you comfortable if I respond with the year, make, and model and services performed? Now, this also goes to a good point, Dutch, and I'm glad you brought this up. The more your customer will put in their review about their experience, the better the Google ranking. If you put it in your response, it does have value, but not as much as if the customer put it in their own review. So if Mr. Jones was to leave a review and say, I brought my 2012 Ford F-150 to Dutch, and he always takes care of me. And this time we had the brakes, the shocks, the struts. I did a transmission flush, pulled out the summer air, put in the winter air. Dutch always takes care of me. He's a great guy. Thank you so much. You also want to make sure you talk to Tricia, who's at the front counter. She's just amazing and so knowledgeable. The more the customer leaves in that review information, the better it is for your Google review. Then when you respond, all you're saying is, thank you. Wow, Mr. Jones, you sure are amazing. We love you. Thank you so much. Or however they identify themselves. So yes, in that exit interview, build them up to understand, I build my business on word of marketing. The more you can leave about your experience here, the better it is for my business, for my website, for the future of our business, our technicians, the livelihood of our entire establishment. So the more a customer can leave, the better it is for your shop. And then if a customer is comfortable, maybe they're not going to leave you a lot of information. If they're comfortable with you leaving information about their vehicle and the services performed, you can do it in your response as well.
Okay,
So that's a great question, Dutch. And I kind of gave you two answers there too.
no, you covered the bases. Thank you very much.
No, you're very welcome. Thank you for asking. Other questions, comments, concerns, takeaways?
That conversation that you guys just had reminds me of, like, I don't know, we've been just between the pandemic and, our schedules lately, I've been ordering a lot more online for like the pickup so that I don't have to wait for it to get shipped. And a lot of the stores are being very, aggressive about when you leave and they put the groceries in your car. They're like, my name is Jill, and make sure that you know that I helped you today. And if you could please fill out a comment online. And, I'm Jill, thanks so much. They must say it like 4 or 5 times so that you remember when you get home and you are prompted. But I like how you kind of mentioned that, to give people an explanation, because sometimes I drive off and I'm like, okay, her name was Jill. Like, why did she feel like she had to tell me 5 times? Whereas the people who come out and say, hey, we really appreciate it if you leave this survey, and when you do, please make sure you tell me. So then they know why, and they feel like they're helping your business and doing their share to support a local business.
Yes.
By taking that little extra step, because everybody right now is very mindful of trying to help small businesses stay afloat. So
yeah. And here's some other things that they're not saying, that if you read between the lines, you can see it. They won't accept a tip. At least here locally for me in St. George, Utah, they will not accept a tip for me saying, thank you for loading the groceries into my car. I really appreciate that. Here's a tip. They won't accept the tip. For you to leave a review and mention them by name, they get a raise in their hourly wage. So the best tip you can give is to leave a review with their name in it. They get recognition, they get kudos, they get bonused, they get a raise. That's why Jill's telling you her name 4 times in a row, is because she wants the review for her bonuses and whatnot. But the company is doing it because the company also wants that Google ranking to rise as well. So it's a brilliant way of doing it. Jill's not telling you this is the way to give her a tip, but that's the way to give her a tip.
Right. I think in an automotive scenario, it would be really helpful for the people who say goodbye to let them know, that, hey, you're helping to support us and we could really use it at this point. So
absolutely. Absolutely. It's so powerful in that exit interview. And that's exactly how you want to build it up with those people come in looking at your shop. And in that exit interview, you're building it up so that they know that you are providing them that valuable information.
I have
That's
a
awesome.
question for you, Jimmy.
Yeah.
So QR codes are becoming more and more popular. Have you found any shops of like customers of yours that are using them? And if so, what successes are they finding?
Ooh, good question. I have seen a few shops that are using them. They're using them for the night drops. They are using them for the curbside for those customers who do want a total touchless experience. I have seen it with invoices and QR codes. You scan the QR code to leave a review. I've seen that shops are using that. I've seen QR codes that go out on postcards. So that ties together a hard copy with digital. So now you're able to track both information coming from hard copy and from digital. So yeah, you're right. QR codes are coming. Not that they've gone away, because they haven't gone away. They just have gained a lot more popularity. Great question, Maddie. Thank you. Well, in conclusion, for what we're talking about, everything we've talked about, aside from the picture on a postcard, this is Kukui. This is what we do. This is what we can help you with as a shop. So if what I've talked about is intriguing, exciting, and you want to know more, you can't implement everything yourself. If you want some assistance, Kukui is here to help you out. We're here to lock arms with you, pull you into the family so that you know and you're comfortable with your shop, with your marketing. Kukui's here to help. Everything we've talked about, from the website, phone calls, everything, our software has it all. If you'd like to have a personally guided tour, I'd love to help set you up with one of my teams so we can sit down and go through what it is Kukui could do for you and do for your shop. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all being here. This is my cell phone. This is my email. Send me a text message. I'd love to connect with you.
Thanks, Jimmy.
You're welcome. Thank you.